Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to another podcast streaming of the fifth. All right, I am your hostess with the mostest, Sandy. For some of y'all know me as Dr. G, Dr. Sandy DeLease. However, you know me, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to my show. All right, tonight, tonight, I'm a bit excited about this show tonight because we're going to be talking about perseverance, right? Because I see so many people going through life, whether you've been rejected by someone or you've been rejected from a job, or you just been rejected by friends or people in your family. Like, you got to be able to persevere. All right. So this show is especially exciting for me tonight because I feel like it's one that is needed. I feel like it's one that is worthy, right? So, just a short story to tell you why I feel like this show was needed tonight. So, um, one of my sisters ordered the fifth, get your merch, the fifth, it's on and popping, get the fifth merch. All right. One of my sisters ordered a shirt today. So I asked her, what do you want on the back of the shirt? Without her and I even having a conversation, without me even posting what my title was going to be tonight, she said, Persevere. It wasn't one of my show titles. She just said persevere. So that in itself lets me know that tonight's episode, Persevere, right, is one that is needed. Because if it was a thought on her mind and it's on somebody else's heart, then that just tells me that I'm moving in the right direction and tonight is worth everything. All right. So I'm going to try to do this show justice. I'm going to try to do the word perseverance justice. All right. So let's jump into it. All right. Persevere. Everybody always says you got to persevere. You need perseverance. But the truth of the matter is that that's not easy. All right. It is not easy when you are going through a struggle or going through a hard time for you to try to put your best foot forward every day and persevere. For you to try to get up every day and go to work. For you to try to get up every day and feed your kids. For you to try to get up every day and take care of a family member. Maybe you have an elderly parent or elderly family member and you are the person that's taking care of them while also going through your own struggles. All right. So perseverance is heavy. It's heavy. People always say like weight is a heavy load, and people always think you're talking about like WEIGHT. That is a heavy load. But then people also talk about WAIT, and that's a heavy load because a lot of people don't like to wait. All right. People don't like to wait. We want it when we want it, and we want it now. We try to say we're patient, but the truth of the matter is when there is something that you need and something that you want, that waiting could feel very heavy. And that's a lot of what perseverance is. Perseverance is heavy, y'all. It is heavy. All right. A lot of times people think like you're persevering through an area where you're feeling good. When you're persevering through when you're feeling good, it doesn't even feel like you're persevering. You know what I'm saying? Because you can see the end line, you can see the goal line. So you know you're working towards something and it feels good. All right. But I want to talk about people that are persevering through struggles, through anxiety, through depression, through a loss of a family member. I want to talk about those people that persevere, people that have been rejected, people that are dealing with being pushed aside or pushed away by somebody else. All right. So, what is it and what does it look like? What is it and what does it look like? All right. So, for me, and you all can chime in. I mean, whoever's on in right now, what's up? Thank you for joining. Feel free to put your comments in the chat. I'll check it periodically. Let's make this an engaging conversation. But for me, perseverance just means to keep going no matter what. Okay? Don't get it misconstrued when I say no matter what, like I'm making it sound easy. Okay. It is one of the hardest things in life for people to do. It is one of the hardest things in life that I have had to do. I have had to persevere. I've had to persevere, but it's worth it. It is worth it. All right. So for me, perseverance just looks like keep on pushing at no matter what at all costs. All right. Because if it's something that you need to do every day, you just can't stop. I got to wake up and go to work every day, just like a lot of people. I mean, I'm a teacher, so we kind of get the summers off, but I still got to get up and do what I need to do. All right. I have to persevere. Okay. There's people out there that have been through hard times. You could have been homeless, right? And you have to get up every single day and figure out where your next meal is coming from. All right. If you feel like you recently just got homeless and you're temporarily homeless and you know that better days are ahead, right? You have to be able to persevere. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story about a person that I know really quickly. And they persevered and they persevered and they persevered. They were homeless for years. Okay. They lived in their car. All right. Excuse me, y'all. I forgot to turn off my phone. All right. They persevered. They lived in a car. Okay. They had a job, two jobs, as a matter of fact, and they had kids. But that person knew that every single day, not only did they have to persevere for themselves, but they also had to persevere for their children. All right. And when I say this person persevered, they persevered and they made it. I won't say they made it look easy because they went through the struggle. They honored it. They embraced it. And they got up every single day knowing that I am not always going to sleep in my car. I am not always going to. What's up, Tori? What's up, Trisha? I am not always going to have to go to a truck stop to take a shower, right? I'm not always going to have to get my kids and take them to McDonald's to play because I don't have anywhere else to take them. All right. But let me tell you this about this person. No matter how little it seemed that this person didn't have, because of the perseverance and the will to be something bigger than themselves for the sake of their children loved every single minute of being with them, whether it was in the car, whether it was at the McDonald's, wherever that person could take their kids because they didn't have a place to call their own. Those children love being there. All right. So I'm just saying perseverance is one of those things that you hold it, you embrace it, and you have to keep pushing on because you have to believe better days are going to come. If you're a person of faith, I know you lean into your faith, right? And you know there is nothing that you're going to go through, all right, that the Almighty is not going to see you through. And it's going to happen. All right. So perseverance for me may not look the same as perseverance for you. Because I'm talking about struggling. I just talk about homelessness. When you talk about a person that's dealing with anxiety or depression, okay, or loss of a family member, that's a whole different kind of perseverance. Yes, we're all pushing through. Yes, we're all trying to keep going. Yes, we all wake up and we're thankful for the breath that we're given to see another day. But I am who I am, and whoever's going through depression is who they are. Whoever's going through anxiety, they are who they are. Whoever's going through loss, they are who they are. Okay. So when I say what perseverance means for me, don't take it as golden and say that is all it is, because that's not what it is. All right. Your perseverance could look totally different from mine. And at the end of the day, you have to respect what your perseverance look like, no matter what other people have to say, because you're doing this for you. Believe me, if there was someone that could just save you from whatever it is you're going through, then it would happen in the snap of a finger. Okay, but we have to persevere. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Jonathan? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Good to hear you on here. All right, so that's what perseverance means to me. You got to keep showing up even when no one sees your effort, even when no one sees your fight. So this is a segue into me jumping into what I'm going to call like you fight quietly and you persevere in silence. Listen to me when I say this, okay? Because when I say this, something in me kind of feels kind of painful. I don't feel sorry for anybody. I don't even feel sorry for myself, to be honest, right? But I could only imagine what it means to quietly fight and persevere in silence when you're working so hard to get your head above the water and you're not doing it for anybody else, but you just wish somebody would see. You just hope somebody would say something. I'm not talking about looking for a pat on your back. I'm not talking about wanting somebody to clap for you and say, I see what you're doing. Keep going, keep pushing. You got this. Can nobody do it like you do it? I'm not talking about getting a cheerleader. All right. Everybody, if you're fighting quietly and you persevere in silence, it's human nature. You want somebody to just say something to you. You want somebody to acknowledge, all right, that you are making a difference in your life to get to a different place from where you are right now. But there are many people who fight quietly and persevere in silence. You believe in yourself, okay? You push yourself. You get up every single day for yourself, and you are your biggest fan and you are your biggest cheerleader. On the opposite side of that, you probably don't even know how to be your biggest fan or how to be your own cheerleader. So that persevering in silence, when I put it up on the screen, there's a little bit of a little knack, like a little crook in your neck, because it's a little painful. It can be very painful. All right. Suffering in silence and persevering in silence for me kind of goes hand in hand. Okay. Because if you're persevering and there's something that you want to go through silently, if it's not just about knowing, that you're going to get to a different place, then some part of you are suffering in silence. But don't give up. Okay. Even if no one sees your effort, even if no one sees what you're doing, it doesn't mean that you have to give up. All right. Just keep on believing yourself. Keep on supporting yourself. Keep on supporting your fight. All right. So, what does it look like and what happens when you fight quietly and you still have to persevere? All right. What happens when you fight quietly? You might be slow and sluggish getting out of the bed. All right. You roll to the left, you roll to the right, and you lay there for a minute because in reality, you really don't want to get out of bed because on this side, you're suffering, but you know that you have to keep going. All right. It's getting up, getting out of bed, making yourself shower, making yourself get ready for the day, whether it's work, whether it's training, whatever it is that you're going to do to help you persevere, it is still hard to get up every day. Okay, so it looks like a struggle. It feels like a struggle. All right, getting up every single day while you're persevering is hard. All right, if you're battling depression and you're battling anxiety, all right, I can't speak for everybody else, but I could suppose that it's very hard to even get up and open the blinds sometimes. All right, because light resembles hope. Light relates hope. All right, and you're not always feeling hopeful when you have to persevere, when you're coming from a place of struggle or depression or anxiety. So you don't want to flick that light on. You don't want to open those blinds, because it means that you are telling yourself that you have to go face the day. And sometimes that's what you have to do. That's the reminder that you are a fighter and you're able to persevere. If I can only get out of this bed and flip these blinds and let some light come in, then the day has started. All right? So it's hard. Persevering is hard. Don't think it's easy. All right? Some people are probably dealing with rejection. Some people have been applying for jobs, applying one application after another application after another application. All right. And you just feel like every single door that closes in your face, every time you're rejected, you're like, why me? Why me? Like, how much longer do I have to get up each day and do the same things, go through the same motions for me to get out from where I am? They say if you do the same thing and you keep getting the same results, then then you're going through insanity. But we're not talking about that. I'm talking about persevering, because sometimes before you figure out what to do next, your days are repetitious. Okay? Believe me, you, when I say you have to be able to embrace where you are. Okay? If you're going to get up and do the same thing every single day, and that is what's motivating you and making you believe that a better day is coming, then you have to do it. And now follow me. I just said that people say when you do the same thing every time and get the same results, it's insanity. Okay? But I'm also a person that understands that you cannot just change things at the flip of a switch or at the snap of your finger. I understand, and I want other people to understand that you're going to do the same things over and over and over and over when you persevere. Why? Because that is your lifeline. That is what's giving you hope. That is what's letting you know that you are here every single day looking for a change. Getting up every day, doing the same thing, beats someone sitting at home feeling down in their luck and feeling bad for yourself because you don't know what to do. Do something every day that gives you hope. And if it means you have to do the same thing every day, do it, because I fully believe that one day it's going to change. It will change, whether you change one simple thing in what you did, whether it puts you in a position where someone recognizes what you're doing, whether it puts you in a position where you're going to be in the right place at the right time. But putting yourself out there every day, even if it's the same thing, could still help you get to where you want to get to. And that is still perseverance. It's hard. When you're struggling, it is hard. All right. So just keep pushing. It is going to change one day. All right. We're talking about fighting in silence, persevering in silence. All right. You don't have to let the whole world know that you're struggling. You don't have to let the whole world know that you're persevering. All right. Your struggle doesn't have to be loud whatsoever. You don't have to bring attention to everybody. And that's true. Jonathan said, my support team is a part of my ability to persevere. Absolutely. Some people have great support systems. All right. Some people have great support systems that helps them get up each day knowing that better days are coming. All right. And that's awesome when you can have that in your life. That is awesome. Okay. Your struggle doesn't have to be loud. Everybody doesn't have to know that you're going through something. All right. It's not everybody's business what you do every day to overcome your obstacles or overcome your struggles. All right. You don't have to post it on social media. All right. You don't have to sit there and go do a GoFundMe. Okay? You don't have to. Some people do, but you don't have to. Okay? You don't have to put yourself out there, because sometimes when you put yourself out there, what you get is not always positive. All right? We live in a world where everybody cannot embrace the struggles other people are going through. Some people believe that if you are struggling or you're in a certain position and you're persevering through life because you lost your house, some people might just say you put yourself there. You very well could have contributed to where you are, but at the end of the day, you're still struggling no matter what. If you don't have what you need for you to successfully make it through your life and successfully go from day to day to day, then you're going to have to persevere. Whether you caused it or not, you have to persevere. Because at the end of the day, whether you caused it or not, you want to get yourself out of the position that you're in because you already knew what you had before. All right? So persevere. You don't have to put yourself out there. You don't have to put yourself on blast. All right? I'm going to share a quote right now, and it's from an author that's unknown. Just because your perseverance is not visible, it doesn't mean it's not valid. Read it for yourself, but I'll say it again. And I'm putting in perseverance because that's what I'm talking about tonight. Just because your perseverance is not visible, it doesn't mean it's not valid. All right? The struggle sometimes is what gets you through. Okay? I can tell you for personal reasons, there are some obstacles that I've come across and come through in my life. I have overcame it. And to be quite honest, I couldn't celebrate it. I can't appreciate it. And I can't speak on it to other people, all right, with clarity and with confidence if I did not go through the struggle. All right, like Jonathan said, I had a great support system. But I also want to say, regardless of you having a great support system, there is something innate that you have to do for yourself. All right. I have a great support system. I have great family members, but there is still a fight that I had to have for myself. There is still a fight that still had to come down from inside of me, no matter what people said to me, for me to believe that better days would be coming. Okay. I wasn't down on my luck. I wasn't absolutely, all the way to the left, not going through depression or, something of a big magnitude. All right. But it was still important for me to have support. But I also knew that in the quiet times, in the times that I was by myself, in the times that I was alone, there was still work that I have to do. Okay. I had to do the work for me to be able to be in a place. Now I can tell you right now, this podcast is a testament to what I've come through. All right. Because I feel like the best people to help somebody through something, okay, excuse me, is someone that has been through it. Okay. I speak to a lot of people on divorce because I've been divorced. I'm not a guru, but I have a lot of experience in what it makes you feel like. I have a lot of experience in what it means to put your best foot forward and know, let me emphasize, know who you are regardless of what people say about you. And those are obstacles and those are struggles. And you have to persevere within yourself and know that I am not who you say I am. Okay? I did not do what you say I did. All right? Better days are coming, but even if I had a strong support system, all right, I knew that even though there were things that I did that was not visible, I still knew that it was valid. It had weight. Weight. It had weight. So I had to do what I had to do for myself to keep me pushing and to keep me moving. All right. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm talking about perseverance, persevering in silence, fighting in the quiet. All right. If you think about baking a cake, for you to get that cake with nice, moist inside, for the cake to rise at the perfect height, if you old school, you know you can't be in the kitchen jumping around while the cake is in the oven, because it's going to mess things up. It's going to make the cake be uneven and it's not going to cook well. So many things that we do in life, we can relate to other things. That's that same persevering in silence, fighting in the quiet. You just gotta let things sit still so that your inside can be settled properly and appropriately, so that when you come out, you may not be perfect, but you look good enough for you to get that job. You look good enough that you're confident to think, I'm ready to jump into a new relationship. You look good enough to take 2 seconds or 3 seconds if you're going through depression and just look at yourself and say, I'm doing it. Even if it only lasts for 3 seconds. But you got to sit still with yourself. You have to sit still and you're going to persevere. All right? Keep building, keep leaning. Keep building, keep leaning. Okay? Be able to lean on yourself. Okay? Give yourself the space. Take away the guilt. Take away the shame. Lean on the people that want to help you. Lean on them. Okay? If they're giving you a shoulder to cry on and that makes you feel better, lean on them. If they're going to get you from point A to point B for right now, lean on them. Shame, guilt, disappointment. Those are some of the few things when you're going through a struggle that gets in the way of your perseverance. Okay? Your thoughts can be crucial. The way you think you look to other people can be crucial. All right? But you got to put aside that shame, put aside that guilt, put aside the disappointment the best way that you can. Lean on the people that want to support you, but know you have to find that thing within yourself that's going to help you get through. All right? So keep persevering, keep pushing on, okay? Keep leaning on that thing that gives you just a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of light. Lean on it. Everything that pulls you through is not going to be something major. It's not going to be like, hey, look at me, give it to me, I got it. It's a step by step by step. All right? If you know faith, all you need is a little mustard seed. Okay? If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, anything is possible. All right? And it might sound cliche and it might sound religious, but whether you are religious or not, we all know what you need is a little glimmer of hope, a little glimmer of life, of light, something that just jolts you for a second, that just gives you the hope to know that better days are coming. If I can make it through today, the sun will shine in the morning. All right. If I'm putting my left foot and my right foot and my left foot and my right foot in front of each other, then I am walking and I am moving, going somewhere. Okay. If you're just lifting your left and your right foot, all you're doing is marching. You're moving. I'm talking about putting your left foot and your right foot forward so that you have movement. You're persevering. Okay. Better days are ahead. Better days are coming. All right. As I get ready to wrap this episode up of Perseverance, I want to read two quotes from you for you before I go. All right. The first one says, strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Okay. That's by Mary Ann Rodmaker. Let me say it for you one more time. Strength doesn't always roar. Like I said, it's not always loud. All right. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. That is the hope. That is the forward movement. That is, I tried today. The results may not have been favorable, but I did do something. I did do something. And no matter how little that something may feel, it is something when you are persevering. Something means a lot. All right. And the next one by an author that's unknown says, no one applauds the quiet victories, but they're the ones that build you. That one right there. That one right there. No one applauds the quiet victories. That's that persevering in silence, not broadcasting your struggles, just going through your days knowing that you still have a purpose. No one applauds the quiet victories, but they are the ones that build you. Do it in silence. You don't have to be well known to end up being great. You are great all by yourself. You don't have to have a bunch of money. You don't have to have the spotlight on you. Because let me tell you something. Millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, celebrities, musicians, actors, actresses, they have their struggles too. And both you and I know that. Both you and I know it. Because half of them end up spending their money and they don't have anything to show for it. You know, God bless the ones that commit suicide because it is so much. It is so loud. The expectations are so great to always perform. But you have to be able to sit quietly and let those little nuggets build you. All right? Let it build you. Okay? And this is lastly what I'm going to say for people who are persevering, who are pushing through because you've been outcasted, because you've been rejected, and you feel like your self-worth is on empty. Okay? Let me leave you with this, and let me also leave you with a little image. Just because you fit in, it doesn't mean you belong, and it also doesn't mean you were in the right place. Okay? I can say this to you. I'm talking to people right now that are persevering because you feel like you've been rejected, you've been pushed away, and your self-worth is on empty. Just because you fit in, it does not mean you belong. It also does not mean that you were in the right place. Okay? Sometimes, and maybe almost all the time, I don't know. I want to say this in the right way. That rejection comes at a cost that you will never know how expensive that price is to find yourself because you persevered. In the beginning, that rejection can hurt and it can seem like, why me? But let me tell you, that rejection has a high price, and perseverance is what's going to get you through to the end for you to realize that just because you were fitting in, it doesn't mean that you were in the right place. It's like an orange trying to fit in with the garlic. Okay? It doesn't taste the same. It has somewhat of the same structure. So what you put in that space can fill that hole temporarily. But when you fit into a place that is not meant for you to be in, eventually you're going to stick out. You're going to stick out. And when you stick out, because the majority is a garlic, that orange slice will be rejected. Don't feel bad. Don't give up. Embrace what you're going through. Fight quietly. Persevere in silence. And the cost for finding out where you truly belong, the cost for finding out the purpose for your life, the cost for waking up every single day knowing that better days are coming is priceless. It is priceless. All right. So I thank y'all for joining me tonight. I would like to encourage you, no matter what you're going through, persevere. Persevere. Take time for yourself. Sit in silence. Okay? Not for isolation, but for solitude. Find out who you are. Because once you can find out who you are, you will be able to go so far and persevering. And I'm saying it not because it sounds good, but because I know it. Persevering gets so much easier when you take that time to find out who you are in those moments of silence. Very good. Like my girl T. Delise just said, never give up in spite of the difficulty. Never, ever, ever give up. All right. So in honoring perseverance and my motto on the 5th, as I always say, all right, my future is forward. Your future is forward. Our future is forward. I'm here for you. I love you. Take care of yourself. God bless. Have a good night.